The Prince Albert Challenge Cup is Cox Fours for student men's. And we have on the far side Adams House from Harvard University, and on the near side Goldie, Cambridge University, 4 from the reserve crew from the Cambridge squad, and away they go.
Yeah, clean start there, Cox Fours. And the Harvard crew from Albert House really aggressively going out of the blocks, really getting a lot of strokes in. They're half the heavyweight. 2 of the guys on bow side are from the heavyweight team, and 2 of the guys on stroke side are from the lightweight team. And they wanted to come to Henley to race.
So joining the race a little bit further down the track, we got the gold of the 4 Cambridge oarsmen from the Goldie crew. That is the stern 4 of the winning Goldie crew this year. But out in front of them, it's the lineup from Adams House at Harvard University. Now, Harvard University, as I understand it, has 12 houses, a bit like the kind of collegiate system within the older universities here in the UK. And at Adams House, these guys have decided to put together this new lineup and row with their housemates. Well, that camaraderie, that living together seems to be paying off right now.
Yeah, because the Harvard lightweights, despite doing quite well, Harvard Sports Department wouldn't support them coming here. So they have a quad racing as a Brussels rowing club, and 2 of the guys here rowing in this as their house, like you said. And I had a bit of a look at Adams House, and their alumni 4 that they could have had racing here would have been John Lithgow, William Randolph Hearst, Henry Kissinger, and Franklin D. Roosevelt. So that's quite a historic place.
What knowledge we have in the commentary box with Adrian Cassidy. Thank you for bringing that to us, sir. And here we see, well, a great shot of the Adams House crew, coxed by Catherine Engels there, who studies French and Spanish literature at Harvard University, using her language skills here to coach and inform and encourage the 4 athletes in front of her. We can see Henry Bello, Bram Erdman, Cameron McElroy and Alexander Forbes, 19-year-olds, stroking beautifully that Adams House crew. And in the Cambridge crew, here we go, we can see in the Cox's seat the Cambridge president, and the Cambridge squad had a clean sweep in the boat race this year. So Oliver Boyne, the Cox, was the president of the club. That means he makes the calls on who's selected and how the crews go. And across the men's, women's and lightweights races, they beat the dark blues every time. So there he is, encouraging the Goldie Stern 4, the reserve Cambridge crew, on in the Cox Fours event here. They've got quite a job to do, though.
They have got quite a good job. And Ollie Boyd at the dinner, after the Blues dinner, his speech was quite incredible, wasn't it? And what he said at the Blues dinner afterwards, having been president and not putting himself in the first boat and watching the crew win, that's actually great leadership.
Absolutely, servant leadership at its best. You get elected by the athletes to be the president of the club at Oxford or Cambridge. It's a big job. You carry a lot of weight on your shoulders. I did it many years ago, and it was tough. We were not so successful in those days, and you carry a lot of weight on your shoulders, and to then not select yourself in the top boat, well, there's maturity in leadership. And there's maturity in rowing here for Adams House. Yeah,
it's really good here. It's kind of interesting that the club, you know, in American universities, the Harvard, the lightweights and the heavyweights are separate. But here together, these 4 friends have basically decided they wanted to row here. 2 lightweights on one side, 2 heavyweights on the other side. Boats running perfectly straight.
And this is a really good, confident display by Adams House.
And you can see on the blades they've got these orange clams, which they've got there just in case the conditions change, and they can change the gearing.
Right, those are the discs you're referring to that are just next to the kind of riggers that hold the oar. So that changes what, the gearing? How does that work?
Yeah, it changes the ratio between the outboard and the inboard. And so if the conditions were a big headwind, they might have put an extra one on the left-hand side on this one you can see here, and made it easier for them to pull hard on the water.
So they're effectively sort of shortening the amount of oar that is out there in the water and giving you a little bit more leverage.
It gives them a longer lever inside the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's really interesting to know. So it's the Prince Albert Challenge Cup, and well, Adams House from Harvard University, one of 12 houses there, coming over here independently and putting down a really big marker. Now, we should say, they make quite easy work, or made it look quite easy here, but this is really a pretty strong Cambridge crew. The Goldie crew, the reserve crew at Cambridge, pretty strong, strong performers, one and all, and they have rowed really well, really cleanly down the course. Nothing wrong with what they've done, but they've just been overpowered by the Adams House crew from Harvard University, who go through to race another round of the Prince Albert.